And welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. I haven't been on for a few months. I had to get a new computer, which I have now. Um, and a lot's happened in those 2 months. You know, it's important to understand that way back in 2016, I had some customers at the time who would tell me, how can you vote for Hillary Clinton? Why would you vote for Hillary Clinton? And my statement would always be because, they would say, oh, Benghazi and her emails. I would respond by saying, because your guy is a lunatic. I find it hard to believe that some people are just now waking up to that. With Rob Reiner's death yesterday, and I know, I've seen Rob Reiner post some very derogatory things about Trump. Below the belt hitting, all that kind of stuff. But by the way, it's dark in here. It really is dark in here. We have a very overcast day in Florida here. So that's why this is so dark. I'm just happy that I have a computer that works. I was surprised. I was like, does it have a camera? Because for a while I thought it didn't have a camera, believe it or not. Rob Reiner did not like Trump, but in case you really need to see how someone should react when somebody dies, you can look back to Charlie Kirk, where anybody who had anything, not even bad to say about Charlie Kirk, was told not to put it on. Repeating Charlie Kirk's own words was considered some sort of a sin, some sort of a you can't do this or you're a bad person thing. And at that time, Rob Reiner was interviewed, and I'm sure you can look it up, about his thoughts about Charlie Kirk. And he gave a very dignified answer. He was talking about how horrible it is. Violence should never be the answer against anybody, and he's basically very upset about what happened. I would go to see that and then compare it to what Trump wrote about Rob Reiner. Trump's only gotten worse since I first said to people I knew that he was a lunatic. It's going on 10 years now, and he really is bad. For anybody to think that there's anything good in this man, I don't see how you can see it. I cannot see it. My daughter recently visited me, and we got on the subject of Trump, and I said, Diana, on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being a horrible, worst of the worst person, human being, and 10 being the best, where do you put Trump? And we were struggling to try to give him a half a point. We couldn't think of anything redeeming about the man. I am sure some of you could correct me and tell me there was something redeeming about him, which I actually would appreciate, because I can't get it. But if you're just going to say, oh, he's a great president, he made everybody rich, made our lives better. No, he didn't. Okay? Even in the first term, he didn't. We are now, I think, all in danger. And probably will be for as long as anybody who's like 30 or 40 years old now will live. Because he's riled up enough people to make this country unstable for decades. Trump mentioned about Rob Reiner having Trump derangement syndrome, which Rob might have had. I've had it. I have it. But you know who else has it is Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump feels that he never has to apologize for anything he ever did because everything was A plus plus plus, just like he gives the grade on the economy. He will never apologize, and he will never change a policy such as tariffs. I saw he took down the coffee tariff. I haven't seen it in the store yet. I went shopping yesterday. I haven't seen a lower price yet. But he won't do that because he can't admit he was wrong. A person who can't admit they were wrong is a very dangerous person. They will drive the truck right off the cliff. I also think that he is a very bad president, especially now, because even if you feel financially not in danger, as I do, just using myself as an example, because half of the people are really in danger, and I know I'm not in a scary position like them. Basically, he puts 80 to 90% of the country in danger. The reason is because of his need, and I'm going to say this frankly, to degrade the dollar. I mean, really degrade the dollar. Okay? And he's doing it because he has interests and holdings in alternate currencies. When you have interests in alternate currencies, you know the best way to pump them up is for the dollar to go down. It's really that simple. So he has an interest, a financial interest, which you know takes precedence over his interest in the well-being of the American people. And he has a financial interest for himself in alternate currency going up, which means he doesn't care if the dollar goes down. I don't think he forgets that most of us deal in the dollar more than alternate currencies. That puts us all at financial risk. And the fact that he wants to promote Kevin Hassett to chair of the Fed, that's a very dangerous move. Kevin Hassett is famous for, one, at the beginning of COVID, remember when Washington State had that nursing home outbreak? And a lot of people got sick and died in that nursing home? Well, Kevin Hassett came on and said, a week from now we won't be having any more COVID deaths. And that was at the very infancy of the whole COVID thing. He's also come out and told everybody in the United Kingdom to vote for Brexit, because that would be great. And we know that the United Kingdom, in a lot of ways, even has a worse financial situation right now than us in the United States. It's even harder for them to get affordable housing in England, in Scotland. It's even harder to afford basic items, and the electricity is off the charts in the United Kingdom. So to even consider putting this guy, who obviously is just a mouthpiece for Trump's non-economic brain, as when it concerns a country, that it's an irresponsible situation. He'll do anything to make Trump happy, and it's very possible that he is just as stupid or more at this stage than Trump, although he should know better, because I really don't think he has dementia. He's just a person who will drive the country off the cliff for Trump. Kevin Hassett, folks, let's give him a hand. He is going to, and he'll say it, by the way, with a big smile on his face, so get ready for that one, okay? Just as Trump's sycophants say that the economy's never been better, that everything is terrific. MAGA, the 40% that are MAGA, 35%, maybe 30%, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that this is the best economy we've ever had? Because that's what your leader is telling you. Why would he make a move to fix it if he thinks it's A++, plus, plus? He doesn't even think that there's an affordability problem. That's where we stand right now. But I think if anybody has Trump derangement syndrome, the number one victim of it is Trump. He thinks everything is great because he's the president. He thinks the immigration situation is great. He thinks, with the cruelty, he thinks that only Jerome Powell has held back the economy. Wait till the inflation. If they start, he wants the interest rates to be 1%, which means two things. Number one, anybody with any money in the bank now has to put it at risk to get some return back because they'll only be getting 1%, even if they want to keep it safe. And number two, which, by the way, that's less money in the economy. And number two, it'll just pump up inflation. It will also, without doing anything on the budget, and Republicans have now proven they don't care about a balanced budget. They used to, both parties accuse each other of it. Nobody wants a balanced budget. It is the most imbalanced than ever. And you've cut out so many social programs, which is why you said the budget was unbalanced to begin with. We all know that it's because a lot of people with a lot of wealth don't even pay in much. And companies such as Bank of America don't pay in much. Bank of America. So Donald Trump, this is the way he wants to go. And he thinks it'll work out because it came from the mind of Donald Trump. Remember the big brain thing that he said once? He's got Trump derangement syndrome, that everything under him is good because it's under him. If he really believes it. And he believes that it might be okay to execute people who think differently from him. Or at least throw them in jail for life. If not public executions. This is very dangerous. It's not just dangerous in a king versus democracy sense. It's dangerous in a life versus death sense. I hope people wake up to this in time. But I don't have complete hope. Sometimes it's okay to admit you were wrong about something. Anyway, this has been Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. Have a good day, and I'll be posting some other things soon because I've missed so much over the last 2 months not posting. But we're at a low point here, folks. All right, talk to you soon.